morning, everybody. I'm Gregor. This testimony spans some decades, so I'll try to move it along. But as Pastor Dave has been saying, it's also an invitation to come talk to me about any of it. I grew up in a Christian home, a Presbyterian home. I had the gift of infant baptism and went through confirmation. But as happens to a lot of us, by the time I left home, there were so many attractions in the material world that I essentially turned my back on God. I kind of forgot about anything to do with God or the Spirit or anything like that. So once we can turn our back on God, but He doesn't turn His back on us. But once you do that, there's a hole, and it doesn't go away, and all other kinds of things try to fill it. So for me, that was alcohol, and a lot of other things too. But this part of the story is about alcohol. And that covers a couple of decades, actually. So I'll come up to the 80s. So Christmas 1988, I was driving home from a Christmas party, and I had no business being out there, and it was not the first time I'd put everyone and myself at risk. But something happened that time. I hit a side rail on the West Seattle Freeway, and I was stuck. So there's a lot of, easy for me to say now, I didn't realize it then, but there was a lot of tough love and a lot of grace in that. But it was like God, or I wouldn't have named Him then, but someone was saying, wake up, look what you're doing to yourself. And the grace, part of the grace was, it was a one-car accident. I didn't hurt anybody else, and I didn't even hurt myself. But there was a lot of accountability, a lot of legal process. But part of the grace, along with the tough love, was here's a way out. Here's what you can do. So I got maybe the first gift of the Holy Spirit of sobriety, which which I need anyway, to use any of the other gifts that are available to all of us. And then one other thing happened after that, and I still don't understand it. It was a very short, romantic relationship. It was very bizarre. And that's kind of an ordinary episode. I mean, probably most of us have been through that. But I just couldn't get over it. I had no roots in the peace of heaven that we've been talking about in the service. And I let that experience define me. So I was depressed, way out of proportion. But it also launched me into another decade of seeking, trying things out, trying to find a reason to keep living. So I tried out a lot of different spiritual paths. So in a way, it was a reprise of the last decade, but at least it was spiritual things filling that hole. And then around 2000, I stumbled into Church at the Center, which is a Presbyterian church in Lower Queen Anne that some of you might remember. It's been gone a long time now, but things changed really radically then. I started to meet people and get to know them and have conversations. And one thing I found that I had not experienced before was community prayer. That you could actually pray for another person in their presence. And that was a kind of intimacy I had never experienced anywhere else. So things grew from there. One of my friends told We were exploring youth ministry, and one of the people explaining it to us was, when a kid shows up, has been showing up for a while, you can give him a job to do. And one of my friends said, yeah, that's what we did with Gregor. So it was a slow process, but a very loving process. Put me in touch with God through the rest of the community. It was an experience I had never had before. So that continued through another decade until I met all of you at Sideris. And the truth that I think has been made more apparent from Sideris is all of the arguments, all of the ways we try to make sense of God's plan. God isn't that concerned about it. What actually changed my heart over the last 20 years is the personal witness, our testimonies to each other, the sort of formal ones we're doing here, and the testimony of the prophets and the scriptures, but more importantly, just the everyday interactions we have with each other and what we say, how we conduct our lives. That, I think, looking back, has made the difference over my new Christian experience here. So, thank you, all of you, for being witnesses, having conversations, connections, and considering Jesus with me. And I hope we'll do a lot more of that.